Well, good evening and welcome to About the Valley. And what you see in the background is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
That is the Whitensville Retirement
Society.
Society. Okay. My guests here are Jeannine Crawford. Jeannine is a director, and Wanda Connors. And Wanda, you live there, right?
I live there and I volunteer there.
And she
And
volunteers there.
Jeannine is the director. Jeannine.
Okay. And I want to say, that is one of the last of the Whiten mansions. And it's a beautiful one.
It is beautiful.
It's beautiful inside and out. The property's beautiful. The building's beautiful.
Yeah.
They did everything first class.
They really did, yeah.
Yeah.
The craftsmanship inside is just stunning.
I know, it's amazing. I was in the LaSalle mansion, because I knew Jim Knott fairly well, and
Yeah.
gave me a tour. And this is unbelievable.
That was a beautiful home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the woodwork. If you were to do that today, you couldn't afford to do it today.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's craftsmen
Yeah,
alive
are there
today.
craftsmen alive that could do that?
That do that, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone that comes in comments on the woodwork. It's just beautiful.
Yes, it would be a shame we lost it.
It would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're not losing it.
No, that's right. It was great that your organization bought it, and then we were talking about that off the air,
Yeah,
how Mrs. Mason was the last one there,
yeah,
Priscilla Mason.
yeah. I think her mom was the last one there.
Her mom was the last one to be at the place,
Yeah,
and
And she was a Whiten.
yes,
Yes.
she was a Whiten. She was one of Marston Whiten's daughters.
yeah.
Yes.
He had, I think, 4 daughters. If I got my history right. I read a book about the Whitens that Kent Swift had published.
Nice.
So I got a little familiar history with him. And yeah, he ended up with 4 daughters, so he lost the Whiten name, and that's why you see LaSalle and Mason,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking of the others now, LaSalle, Mason, and
I think people still know it as one of the Whiten mansions. So
yeah.
yeah. And there's a beautiful portrait inside of Mr. and Mrs. Mason and their daughter Priscilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I was talking with one of the Whitens, well, Harry Whiten, but his cousin as well, at the preview of their film that he just did, and she says yes, they made sure that Marston Whiten made sure that his daughters married good businessmen.
Yeah.
Because they ended up, Swift was the another one, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because they ran the shop.
Right. Yeah.
And the mansion itself used to be located
They moved it.
behind. Right, they
Yeah.
moved it using oxen and logs. They rolled it
Yes.
up the hill. 1898 was it?
I think I read 1790.
Oh, 17.
I thought that's what I read,
Okay.
but I
Oh,
don't.
wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
That sound, I think 1898 would sound better, I think,
Yeah.
because they weren't as well established at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you could be. I don't
But
know.
imagine
I
trying to
just-
get
yeah.
that uphill.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You know, I would have liked to have seen
But that's
that.
not the only, they did a lot of moving.
A lot of buildings in Whitensville
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard
moved,
that
yeah.
because I was talking with the residents about it, and they were all asking, how on earth did they pick up this house and move it up the hill way back then? But then some of the other residents said it's not the only house that was moved in town. Several
Oh,
others
no.
were moved.
There's one that was moved, it's on Linwood Ave, and they moved it from where the town hall is, to build the town hall. And when they moved it, they had to set it on solid ground because they had to roll it on.
Yeah.
And after they rolled it onto the solid, the walls were, the cellar walls were up, but they filled it with dirt. And then moved the house onto it, then shoveled the dirt out.
Wow.
Oh, that's a riot.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, Ken Watchell told me about that one.
Amazing.
He
Then you
knows,
got
he
the,
knows everything.
They weren't afraid of
Oh,
hard
yeah.
work,
No,
right?
that's for sure.
Not afraid
You
of
got
hard
the
work.
mansion where the school department is right now. That was moved to there.
Oh, that was moved too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They did a lot of, they would move houses around.
Even just since I've been here, which was like 40 years ago, I've seen them move a couple of houses in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Let's move a house.
Yeah, imagine doing that back then.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's fascinating.
Yeah, it took a tremendous amount of labor, but labor was cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Must have been all employees of the mill, probably, huh?
Well, they kept them going, you know. during the, right after the Civil War, we had a depression. And a lot of people out of work. They kept them, that's when they built the walls going up to Castle Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to keep them employed, they had them build the stone walls.
It's amazing.
Another lost trade.
Yeah.
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 Well, I'm glad they did. I'm glad they moved it there because it's a perfect location for what we do.
Yes, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful spot.
It is, yeah.
Now, you added on to that, you actually got, I wouldn't call them townhouses, but apartments, right?
Yes, yeah, there's 23 apartment units there now and 17 rooms in the home for residents. And the difference between the two buildings is the apartments, they have their own kitchens.
They do
and
their own cooking,
They
their
do
own
their own
meals.
cooking, their own laundry. There's laundry rooms in the apartment building, so they don't have to go outside to do laundry. And then over at the home, everything is provided, so they get their 3 meals a day. There's 2 snack times in between the meals. Laundry service is provided, housekeeping, and they have their own room and bathroom, but they share the rest of the house.
Oh,
So-
each apartment has its own bathroom too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, each room in the
Oh.
home has its own private bath.
A
Yeah.
few of
Oh.
them still have the beautiful fireplaces, and
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful too.
they kept as many of the details as possible.
Yes, and it's semi-formal, like even the meals are formal, like they have breakfast, and then they have tea, then they have their big meal of the day, and then tea, and then a lighter dinner.
Evening meal, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a step back in time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think the founders, the people that came together to create this,
Yes,
had-
this was the Christian Reformed Church.
it was, and they had just great foresight in creating an environment for the elderly people in the community, and that it's gone on for 50 years, and that we're going to be celebrating 50 years in February next year is just a tribute to the
So
wonderful
that was what, 1975?
75. Yeah,
To me, that's not like yesterday.
I know, for us, yeah.
yeah.
But Jeannine has journals of like, the first page was just a thought,
Yes.
and then the next page was, now looking into purchasing, and then
Yeah.
the purchase itself, and it just,
Well, the
it's,
thing is, if they hadn't purchased it, who knows what would have happened to that
Correct,
building?
yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
It could have been, end up tearing it down in the housing development
right,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of acreage there.
It's about 9.5 acres there.
Yeah, see, so it's, the developer will say, oh, I can get a bunch of houses in here.
Right, yeah,
Why am I
Yeah.
gonna deal with this house?
yeah.
And it's almost like a best kept secret. Like I lived
Yeah.
here for 30-something years, and I didn't even know that was down there. And then one day my daughter went to visit her neighbor there and told me about it. And it is kind of a word of mouth thing. And
Yeah.
if you talk to the residents about how they ended up there, it's like a word of mouth,
Yeah.
or my grandmother was here, my cousin came to visit
Right.
somebody, and
Oh, we-
everybody's knows somebody or is related to somebody in
true.
town.
We
It's amazing.
We currently have several residents who, in their past, were on the board, or volunteered, or worked there. So
Oh,
it's kind of
then
neat.
Then they move in.
Yeah. So the whole staff says, one day when we move in,
We keep telling them, get on the list now,
yeah,
'cause
get
it's a
on the
long list.
Right. There is quite a waiting
Now,
list.
do you have married couples staying there?
I do. I have a married couple that just moved in last month,
Oh.
and we've had them previously.
Oh,
So,
okay.
it's kind of a rare thing, but
Now,
yeah.
are there any requirements? You don't have to belong to the Christian church.
no, 62 and older is the requirement. You
Uh-huh.
need to be able to get down to the dining room for your meals, take care of yourself,
Right.
be fairly independent.
Yeah, you're not a nursing home.
No, no,
You
no
have-
medical
you have-
staff whatsoever.
Right, so you have to be able to take care of yourself.
Yep, it is independent living, but some of our residents do require a little bit of help, and they call in a CNA or an HHA to help.
Right.
Yeah, so,
I don't think most people understand what independent living is. They think it's a nursing home or they think it's assisted living, but it's not.
No, it's
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah, which is unique.
Yes.
yes, yeah, they're independent. They can come and go. Some people come in and they think, oh, I'm locked down. I'm like, no, you can come and go.
Some
Right,
of them
you
still
jump
have
in your car
cars.
and
Yeah,
go
yeah,
Yeah, some
somewhere.
of them still drive.
One of our residents still works one day a week.
There you go.
Yeah, so,
and they all have these
Yeah,
fascinating stories. You know, the history lives in that building.
It does,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
It's really interesting.
And a lot of times our residents over at the apartments, when they find things are getting a little difficult, they'll move over to the home. So they can
okay.
stay in the same community, all their same friends.
But then they get the services with their laundry
Correct,
done for
yep.
them, and
Yep,
meals are made for them.
right, it's
Yeah.
all inclusive, so it's part of their rent. Yeah,
It's like a one big family between the apartment building where I live and the retirement home.
Right.
it really is a community. They pull together, they do potlucks over at the apartments, they help each other, they look in on each other. It's a beautiful situation where in the summer they're out walking, the people from the home are out walking and they're mingling with the apartment
Well,
people.
it's a beautiful street,
It is, yeah.
beautiful area on the street.
The whole
Yeah.
area is beautiful. We have so many people that come and walk through with their families,
Yeah,
just walk around.
very
our
nice area
land.
there.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's quiet, it's very
It's
nice.
it's a safe environment for
Yeah,
them,
Yeah.
for the rest of us too.
That's the area where Betty Davis lived.
Yes, yeah. We had a resident there a while ago, Helen, and she knew Betty.
Yeah. Well, I understand before my time, but she would walk around and see people outside. They
Yeah.
might see her out in the yard. She'd talk to everyone.
Yep.
She was married to one of I can't remember his name now. Middle name was Oscar.
Yeah,
That's how they named the Oscar.
that's right.
Oh, that's
That's right. I
right.
heard
Yeah,
that
I forgot
story,
about
yeah.
that
Her
story.
statement was, "It looks like my Oscar naked."
Oh, that's great. What a
That's
great
funny,
story.
yeah.
I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
It's hard for I know a lot of history, but I forget a lot of part of it. I
Yeah.
forget dates and names.
Yeah, welcome to our world.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Helen was talking about it, I was like, did Betty Davis really live around? But she got her picture book out and she showed me
Yeah.
pictures of her.
Well, she was from the area,
Yeah.
from Massachusetts, and she went to school in Ashburnham.
Hmm.
I did not know this.
I
Yeah,
didn't know it
private
either.
school in Ashburnham, Cushing Academy.
Okay.
I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the LaSalles used to have students from that academy.
Yes.
And they would.
Well, you still got LaSalle University. That's the
Okay.
same family.
Yeah.
That was his brother. His brother had a school for girls only
Yep.
in Waltham. Yeah, Waltham.
Yeah.
And it since turned into a regular university. But that's LaSalle name. That's why LaSalle College. Then it became LaSalle. Everything's a university now. No more colleges. They're all
Yeah.
universities.
Yeah. One of the Whiten girls went there, right? And
Yes, that's how they
ended
met.
up marrying her professor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
Well, they would go to coming out parties
Yeah.
in Boston.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
Debutante balls, I think.
Yeah,
they
Oh,
were.
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
Because they felt that, they weren't going to mix with the white. The one thing they did, you were category.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
In the factory, if you were Armenian, they put you in the foundry.
Hmm.
If you were French Canadian, you worked in textile business.
And then there were the Dutch.
In the Dutch, yeah,
Right.
they ran Castle Hill.
Right.
They were the farmers. Except my uncle Ed Postman, he ran the maintenance department up until he retired.
Many of our residents are Dutch.
Yeah.
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 So Jeannine knows all the history about about the Whitensville Retirement Society. And one of the reasons that we wanted to talk to you was to tell you about the gala that's coming up to celebrate the 50th Golden
Yes.
Jubilee.
Yep.
Golden Jubilee.
Yeah, 'cause the documents were signed on February 21st, 1975.
Which happened to be a Friday.
It happened to be a Friday. So
now
we're
here we are.
celebrating it this February 21st
On a Friday.
Oh.
at the
Yep.
Grand View, which used to be the old Marriott Ballroom in Mendon.
Yep.
Oh, wow,
And-
you were
yeah.
going all out for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's so much to celebrate. I mean, you'll have to
Yes.
come and visit us sometime and just
Yes.
see what we're talking about.
You're gonna have you're expecting good turnout then.
We're hoping for a good turnout, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that's a big place.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to honor all the people that have, through the years, kept the place going and supported it.
Oh.
And Yep, volunteered there and worked there and
Yeah,
lived
because they
there.
must have thought back in 1975, will this succeed?
Yeah, and I think it's had moments where it's been, not doing as well as others.
Right.
Um,
Well, you don't take Medicare,
no, it's
No.
independent pay. yeah.
independent, so, you gotta rely on people having enough cash to be able to pay their rent every
Yeah.
month.
But part of the mission is to keep the rates a little bit lower than market, so,
Yeah.
you know,
But it's still expensive to keep operating.
yes.
Your
yeah.
heating costs have gone through the roof.
Yep, everything, food,
Yeah,
everything.
Food, everything, yeah.
And it's getting harder and harder to find really good cooks, so if there's anyone out
If
there.
there's anyone who wants to cook, we're looking for cooks. Please come see us.
Yeah.
That can be a problem.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
mean, you can only pay so much,
right,
and like you say, it's hard to find, a lot of people don't wanna get into it.
right.
You ought to talk to Valley Tech.
We just
We
came
did,
there
yeah,
today.
we
We
did.
were there today.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
We've been working very closely with Valley Tech to help us with the celebration with the Golden Jubilee. We've been working with them. They did our invitations for us and our RSVPs. They're going to do our thank you cards. And today we went there because we're working with their media department with a young man named Owen Opaki, who is working on a video for us. We have been videotaping some of the residents
Yeah.
and some of the staff.
Oh,
just-
great,
yeah,
good,
it's-
good historic thing.
It's
Yep.
it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
so
It's,
that's his senior project.
You know
and,
who else you can talk to for a cook? The Grafton Job Corps.
Oh, that's right.
oh,
I never thought of reaching out to them.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's a great
Because they
suggestion.
train them over there too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need that. Thank you. Yeah.
I know Jeannie Hebert uses them for the chamber for
Okay.
some of her events. They put out some great hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, that's good to
That
know.
is good to know.
Yeah.
I thought of them for somebody else. I actually recommended them for a friend of mine. I know. I don't know why I didn't think of it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's great.
Well, that's
So-
why I do this show, because we get information out amongst us,
Yeah.
just talking.
Yeah, we say that at the home too. All of our brains together make us good.
Right, you do your brainstorming.
Yeah, yep, yeah. We're lucky to have the team we do at the home. They really care.
But, where you're located, nobody knows you're there.
Yeah,
Which
and
has its good points and its
It's
bad
true.
bad
Yeah.
points. And we have a long waiting list
we do.
Right.
of people
Yeah.
that want to get in the apartments and the home.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's you know that the need for elderly housing is
Oh, yes.
huge.
It is huge.
So,
Yeah.
who knows what's going to happen? We didn't know it would come this far and be this wonderful.
Well,
And,
one of the problems we got is the elderly housing in this town is now taken over by people that aren't elderly.
Right, not our place.
No, not your place, but Lake Street.
Yes,
And, it's people that have problems with drug abuse and things like that.
yes.
Because that's what the state mandated.
Hmm.
And, that was always for the elderly for many years.
It was meant to be for the elderly, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's gotten away from that. Yeah.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. I get phone calls every week of people who are losing their housing because landlords have sold out. New landlords have to up the rent. They can't
Yeah.
afford to stay.
Some of them are upping the rent by $300-400 a month.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
such
oh,
a need.
I can't believe what the rents are in Rockdale.
Yeah,
$1,500 average.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yep.
Oh, yeah. And this way, if they come to us, it's a first of all, it's beautiful. Second of all, it's a safe environment,
Right.
and it's just a big family. We're just one big family.
Yeah,
We do family things, we do activities, we have meals together, and it's just a lovely place to sit down and have conversation. And
something we started during COVID was concert on the green,
Yes.
so we could have music outside and everybody could go and it wouldn't be a problem. And we've continued to do that over the years, and
Oh,
it's fun.
What are some of the musicians you bring in?
So we have Polka Paul from Woonsocket comes in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They love him, and Dan Chauvin.
Dan Chauvin.
Chauvin.
Dan
yeah.
Chauvin.
Yeah,
Dan's friend of mine.
Okay, yeah.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's been on this show
Oh, nice. Yeah.
a number of
I've
times.
seen him on the show, yeah.
Yeah, a number
Yeah,
of times.
he's great. His dad was
He lived at the home.
at the home.
Yep,
Oh,
At some
okay.
point, yeah. So he comes and plays for us.
yep, he does a beautiful job.
He does, he is
Yeah.
very good.
He is good.
Have him do the hallelujah, he does it
Oh,
fantastic.
I've heard him
He's
do the
done that.
hallelujah.
Yeah,
That's
he does a great
Yeah,
job
he-
with it.
He sounds
Yeah.
like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, it's really good.
He does,
It's
He's
really
great.
good.
he's very good.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
great.
One of the things through COVID that I realized was just the need for companionship. A lot of folks are sitting home alone, and
Mhm.
if we didn't have each other during COVID, we were able to maintain our schedule and keep the residents comfortable and have each other to talk to. In fact, at one point, we had them 6 feet apart. We were measuring, right? People were in all different rooms eating. And then one of the residents said, "It says on the news that if we're a family, we can eat together. We want to go back to the dining room." So we put them all back in the dining room. They were right.
But we're finding now that it was exaggerated on a lot of it,
Yeah, yeah,
including wearing masks.
yes, yeah, yep.
But the thing is, that's something that we're all gonna talk about
Sure.
50 years from now. Well, I
No-
won't be
no
around 50
kidding.
years, but,
It was a scary time,
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
but they got through it well because they had each other. And,
Right.
You know, so.
I think when you think about, I know when I thought about moving to the apartments, I thought, yeah, I'm not doing that, because I thought in my mind it's going to be like Lake Street, like those places. And now I look back, and my family looks back, and it's the best thing I ever did. You are never alone. You are never alone.
Which is key, yeah.
If someone doesn't see you for a day or two, they're knocking on your door to make sure you're okay. We bring food to each other if somebody's not feeling well. We do a lot of celebrating together, and it's just a good place to be.
I
yeah,
feel
you
like
really often, if you're a widower and you're selling you can't keep the house because it's too much to take care of,
right.
perfect,
Which is
Yeah.
often the case.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
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 And now you can get enough for your house that you probably could live for quite a while.
Yeah, true.
And you don't have to pay any taxes on it.
True. You don't have to do any maintenance,
No.
which is nice.
But no, you have to pay any taxes on
the
when you
house.
sell your house. You don't
Oh,
have to pay.
oh,
That income is yours.
yeah, right.
So it's not a bad deal.
No, it's a good deal. It's a good.
And like you say, you got a choice. You could live inside where your meals are taken care of. You don't want to cook anymore. You don't want to have to do your laundry. Or you can be independent and live in the apartment.
That's right.
And even the yards, like you can still have a beautiful yard. We
Yes.
have beautiful gardens and everything, and you're not the one that has to do all the work.
Yeah.
You know,
Unless you want to.
Unless you want to. Yeah, we do have a couple that just can't stop gardening.
Yeah, they love being in the
But
garden.
the garden goes back to the Whitens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, she had a lot of gardens out in the wood area, and there's a trail from the apartments that goes over to the community gardens.
Yes.
I think the Whitens were the beginning of the first garden club. I think I heard that Whitensville was.
That would not surprise me.
Yeah.
There's another little building on the property. It's like the size of a one-car garage, and that was the dollhouse of
Oh.
the
Her
of their
playhouse, yeah.
daughter's.
And
It was her daughter's playhouse.
The interesting thing about that building is it was an original like kit building. It was built in Dover.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
yeah.
shipped over in panels,
Yes.
where they, put it together, and
Oh, okay.
it's a neat building.
They used to sell those in Sears catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has something on
It
the
has the
door
plaque, yeah.
that talks about it, where it came from
Yeah,
and stuff.
From
Yeah,
Dover, yeah.
it's very
But
cool.
they had dollhouses like the size of a small house.
That's
Yeah,
what this
yeah.
But
is.
they used to have one right down here at the Rockdale Mill, across from the mill. It's an apartment building now, but that was a Whiten mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a brook going through there. And I remember as a kid seeing it down there.
How fun, yeah.
Well, you have to come and see ours.
And I'd like to. No, they had tunnels that ran all through that area. There's still tunnels around the gym.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a tunnel that goes right under Main Street
I've heard that, yeah.
and it connects to the shop. So
Oh, I didn't know
in bad
that.
weather, they could get to the shop without,
Yeah, I
didn't
heard
know
that.
that.
Will was
Makes-
telling me about that.
Who
yeah.
was?
Will.
Oh, no
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Will Banning, you'd love to have him on the show. But you'll have to come and join us for dinner some night and talk to
Yeah.
some of the residents.
Come
They,
have
tea.
you'll
Yeah.
find the history is fascinating.
One of the things I love about the home and the community, between the home and the apartments, is it's very similar to how I feel like the Whitens cared for this town and created that community feel.
Yes.
That caring for each other. And it feels like it continues on there at the property with all the residents and the staff, the board members, the volunteers, everybody really cares and takes care of, looks after each other. And it reminds me very much of the stories I hear about how the Whitens took care of the town.
They were very paternal.
Yeah,
They looked at these residents are my children, and they take care of them.
yeah,
They didn't pay a lot if you worked in the shop, but they took care of you.
Yeah.
You had a place to
yeah,
live. They did your house over every so many years. They would come in and paint inside and wallpaper,
yeah,
did everything.
right,
And, they built the schools so they could educate the populace. I mean, it was amazing. At one point they had the shop store. That's where the cotton mill is. Cotton Mill Apartments.
Yeah.
mhm,
There was a shop store down here. Was in fact, Bob Knightham took it over and made it REN Chevrolet.
Oh, I've heard Ken Watchell talk about that on the
Yeah,
trolley
they-
tours.
They tore
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did it, everything was done for you.
right.
So in a sense, he created independent living,
Right.
Yeah.
just
for
on a
the
larger
town.
scale.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I
Yeah.
think on a small scale, we continue that tradition, for our residents.
They had a gas station next to the former fire station in Whitensville. There was a small gas station there, and it was owned by the shop. And if you worked in the shop, you could charge the gas, and they'd take it out of your paycheck.
Huh.
The good
Imagine
old
that,
days, right?
I know,
Yeah,
nothing like
that's when
that.
gas was 25 cents a gallon, so.
Right,
it's-
right.
Yeah, you fill your car up, you put in $5 worth of gas, and you were all set
Yep,
for the week.
Hmm.
But yeah, they ran they had the Blue Eagle Inn
Oh, I heard him talk about that. That was
Yeah.
on the corner.
on Grove Street.
On Grove Street, yeah, and that's where a lot of the visitors came to stay, right?
Yes.
When they came from other countries?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they were selling the machinery,
Right,
they would bring the buyers over and have them stay there.
right. There was another inn too. There were two, right?
Yes, I'm not sure what the other one was. I remember
Yeah.
I remember the Blue Eagle. Got my polio shot there,
Oh, isn't that funny?
Dr. Obama, back in the 50s.
I don't, yeah, when they used to do polio shots, you had the scar on your arm.
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Well,
just
then it went to the drink.
yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, it started as a shot, and then I got older. I remember you took the drink.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't
Okay.
bad tasting.
I think I still
It
have
was
the
better
scar,
than the shot.
actually. But to get back to the Whitensville retirement home for a second, the plan in 1975, the mission, if you could see it's almost like a diary. The journal is almost like a diary of all the days leading up to the signing of the documents, and so we like to say if you look back at when it was just a thought or a twinkle in their eye, like the
Well, you
mission was
think
the mission was accomplished for this place.
Right,
It was quite a challenge to take over. You're gonna make a huge purchase. Then you're gonna add the apartments in.
yeah,
You're talking quite amount of money being laid out.
right. And people volunteered money. They donated and helped and volunteered. It just that whole,
Well, the Christian Reformed Church has always been that way.
yeah,
I mean, look, they built a beautiful school.
right. Yeah.
And our community, it's a Christian-based community within
Oh,
on
yeah.
our property.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, devotions are said at every meal. You don't have to participate, but they are said at every meal.
Huh?
Yeah, so,
And nobody complains that it's a Christian community, you know. But they purchased that property for $55,000.
Imagine that.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
$55,000 for the whole place.
$55,000, yep.
yeah.
Yeah. And I can't
think-
even imagine what it would be in today's world.
I think it was
Well,
listed for
yeah.
more, but she.
It was listed for 95, I think I read,
something,
yeah.
The Watson Farm, if you're familiar with that, Watson was another one of them.
My daughter lives in the property in front of Watson Farm.
Yeah, yeah, Vinnie Osterman bought that, it's over $1 million.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the buildings are in tough shape.
They tore most of them down. I think there's only one left.
Yeah, because they were falling down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking $1 million to 55,000.
Right.
I know.
And
that was just
you got a
land.
nice house with it.
Right,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
basically just land now.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's quite the place.
Yeah.
But now, the average house in Northbridge now is going for $500,000.
I know, it's crazy.
Who
Who
would
would
have
ever
thought?
think?
Who would have thought? I know,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you've got a great investment there,
true, they do, yeah,
and they keep it going.
they do, yeah.
How did you end up there, Jeannie?
Well, I started working in Whitensville in the late '80s at the Blackstone Valley Tribune.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and I would
You
go.
worked for Rod Lee?
I don't know. I don't remember.
He was at the Tribune, he was the editor.
Yeah, he just
Oh,
wrote a
okay.
book. He just wrote.
Oh.
He just wrote a book recently. Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
there.
he just wrote another book. He wrote 7 books so far.
Yeah.
He's my guest next week.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember.
I think he was there then, but I think
Yeah,
he
I'm
was.
pretty sure he was.
He was. He just wrote columns. I
Oh,
think at that
okay.
point. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but I used to go over to the Whitensville retirement home. They had a little secondhand shop in the garage, and I
Oh,
would shop there.
okay.
Yep. And then I had my first child, and I brought her back to meet the ladies one July day, and after we were done visiting, I put her in her car seat and I locked the doors because I was a safe mom, and I swung it closed. And as I was swinging the door closed, I could see my keys sitting right next to her.
Oh.
But the ladies were so lovely. They played peekaboo with her, and one of them called the police, and the police came and opened the door. And over the years, I would come back and visit if I knew some of the residents living there, and actually I would see like ads in the paper for a cook or a director, and it always drew me to it, but I wasn't in the situation to do anything about it. And so after all my children were grown and out of the house, I was really longing to cook for people, because I always cooked for a lot of people at my house. And I thought that would be a lovely thing to do. So the ad came up, and before I even knew I had a job, I didn't need a job, but before I even knew it, I was on the phone talking to the director at the time, and I was in for an interview, and I had the cooking job. And I kept my other job because I wasn't sure I wanted to do the cooking job. And then from cooking, I started doing other little things, and then I did the bookkeeping, and then the director left, and I was interim director, and before I knew it, I was director.
Wow.
So,
So you moved up the ladder.
yeah. But that place is very special. You can feel it when you walk in, and I enjoyed cooking so much. I still do when I get the opportunity to cook in the kitchen for the residents. But it's just such a special place, and to be a part of it is such an honor and a privilege.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the residents love her.
Aw.
They do. You know that.
It's very nice.
And she's not just the director. You know, the old, when we used to work a long time ago, it's like you didn't have just one job, you did it all. That's
Yep.
what Jeannine does. She does it all.
You have to. If you're running a house, you got to do everything.
Yeah, she's like she's the matriarch of the house.
So,
Yeah.
aw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you do it yourself, you get it done.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
But I do have an excellent team, and we all work hard together to make sure that the days go smoothly. And, there's ups and downs, and there's things that you deal with, just like in any family, but we get
You
through.
think you'd move in one day
Oh,
yourself?
the entire staff says someday when we live here, we'll give the staff a run for their money.
The staff is great there too. They're
Yeah.
so invested in the residents.
They really
you know.
are.
Yeah. Every one of them is just lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see where it's a great place to live because everybody gets along.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hardest thing in the world is if you buy a house or you move into an apartment and you don't get along with the neighbors.
True. Yeah.
Right.
It becomes an eternal hell.
And sometimes when they move in, it takes them a while, a few
Yeah.
weeks to get acclimated. They're not sure they're going to stay or they're not sure they're going to be comfortable. And
Yeah.
before you know it, it's just like they've always been there.
It's usually
Right,
about
yeah.
1 month. Yep.
If you got good people, they mix in well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
You
it's,
probably know some of our people.
oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But one different person can change the entire house too. The house can be a certain way, it has a certain feel, and then a new resident will move in and the entire energy of the house will change. And it's really interesting to watch the evolution of those changes, to get to know them and their stories.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
But it's like one big family, because you're all eating together.
Yeah, yep.
It is, it's a
Dining
big,
together, you're
a
watching
big
TV
family.
together, things
Yeah.
like that.
we do activities now and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wanda's
They-
been great. She comes over on Fridays, and sometimes with Elaine, and they do activities for the residents, a craft or something. This month is very busy. We have a lot of people coming to carol and sing and
Ah,
do the Christmas
yes.
stuff, so it's really fun.
Yeah, similar to what happens in the nursing homes.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they have residents, do they visit the senior center as well?
I try to get them to go to the senior center. I talked to Kelly about having the bus come so we could all go
Yeah.
and do a tour, just to get them comfortable with going.
Yeah, 'cause they have some great programs down
Yeah, they
there.
do, yeah.
I have Kelly on the first of the month,
Oh, nice.
first Thursday of the month, we do a show called Senior Info.
Yeah,
We try to have guests on that pertain to seniors,
yeah.
and,
I've seen that, that's a good show.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, Kelly's the reason why we have the concert on the green. She had one of her entertainers came and performed outside during COVID,
Oh.
and it was such a great success that we
Yeah,
just.
she has some great shows
Yeah,
down there they
yeah.
put together.
Yeah,
Their 50th anniversary is coming up too. So I
Yeah.
called her just to make sure it didn't coincide with our plans.
Oh.
Because the gala in February is going to be our big event, and then we're going to have a few more throughout the year too.
yeah.
You know, in the
Oh.
summer we'll have a couple outside and stuff like that. But I think Kelly's celebrating hers in June or July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, she does a great job down there.
She may get a new senior center.
Really?
Yeah, maybe, huh?
Yeah, they're being looked at,
Yeah.
see if it's feasible, where the old
School.
elementary school was,
Oh, great, yeah.
on
Down
Cross Street.
Yeah.
across from the Pleasant Street
Right,
Church.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, neat.
The plan would be to tear down the old parochial school part, that's multi-story, and just keep the single story,
Yeah.
the addition.
Hmm.
I hope that happens for them. That would be great.
That'd be
Yeah.
closer to us, too.
Huh?
That'd be closer to us, too.
It would be, yeah, yeah.
Then we'll figure out something to do with the current senior center.
Yeah. One thing at a time.
Yeah, that's a neat building, too.
Yeah, that would be
Yes.
that would be great if they could make that decision on their 50th anniversary, like
Oh,
we
yeah,
did with
yeah.
ours. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the last of that type of school. They were all over town, that style.
Did you go to that school?
No, my older son did, when it was still a school.
Hmm.
He's a physician now in Lowell.
Oh.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's neat.
it was a long time ago. I went to the Rockdale School,
Oh, okay.
which is no longer there. It burnt in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Some kids got in there, it was abandoned, because they built the Balmer School, they abandoned all the outlying schools, and all the kids went to Balmer.
Hmm.
And this was empty, and it was looking at doing it over into elderly housing, and somebody got in and burnt it.
Oh, that's too bad.
But now it's the Rockdale House,
Okay.
senior apartments.
Yes,
Okay.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Freddie Benoit House, it was named after Freddie
Right.
Benoit.
Right, Benoit. I've seen that name on the sign.
Yeah,
Right.
he was instrumental in getting that, he was a selectman at the time, he was instrumental in getting that place built.
Hmm.
Okay. Gosh, you've seen them all come and go, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, now you have to familiarize yourself with our place.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's what growing up in this, I'm still in the same town I was
Born
born
and
in Worcester,
raised.
but I grew up in this town. I was only born in Worcester because that's where the hospital was.
Right. Yeah, there was no hospital here, right?
Yeah, there was.
Oh, Milford Hospital was here.
Yeah, well, at the time it was the Winesville Hospital,
That's
still
right.
run by the shop.
Oh, they ran the hospital too. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
know
they
that.
built it and ran it.
On Granite Street, right? Yeah, Granite Street.
Yeah, Granite Street,
Right.
yeah.
Wow.
But it was a wooden structure.
Okay.
It got expanded by Milford Regional when they took it over. But originally it was just a wooden structure. I did spend a week there. In 1965, I had strep throat. And Dr. O'Connor, who's no longer with us, put me in a hospital for a week.
Wow.
That hospital was still there when I moved here in '82.
Yeah.
It was still Milford Whitensville Hospital.
Yeah,
then.
Milford Waynesville, but
Yeah.
prior to that, it was just Waynesville Hospital.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard so many people say they were born there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, there was a lot of, 90% of the kids in town that were born in the town were born there. My mother just happened to have a doctor who was from Grafton, and
Practiced in Worcester.
yeah, he
Yeah.
went to St. Vincent's,
Mhm.
which they just tore down,
Right.
the one I was born in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, the one I was born in is now a senior center in Worcester. It's a brick building across from the new St. Vincent's.
Oh, okay.
And, because I'm 76, so 76 years ago. But-
So there was the brick one, and then the one in between, that's the one they tore down, right?
Yes,
Yeah, my son was born at that one. The one
Yeah,
they tore
the-
down,
it was like brick and metal panels,
yeah.
blue and white. St. Vincent, huge hospital. Now they've got a huge one down here in center of Worcester.
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck going to UMass.
Yeah.
You make it sound like a bad thing. My daughter works there.
Well, I mean, it was nice, I had doctors in town.
Yeah.
There's no more doctors in town,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
so you gotta go out of town. I ended up, to get a doctor, I ended up at UMass.
Well, you can go to Tri River now. They're part of UMass.
Yeah, so is Milford
So Milford,
Waynesville.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they were
Milford
just bought
Whitesville.
out, yeah.
Right.
Milford's part of UMass, taking over everything. But they still don't have any doctors available.
Right.
Yeah, not taking new patients. Right.
Mm.
Right.
I hear it. It's so frustrating for the residents when they're trying to get appointments or figure things out. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, because you gotta go out of town.
Yeah. You're usually on the phone all day. I can hear them like trying to negotiate how to get an appointment, and it's very frustrating. You almost need an advocate nowadays to.
Now, for urgent care, there's a new one on 146 in Sutton, right where the Market 32 is.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's called Urgent Care MD,
Yes.
because they have a doctor on duty.
Oh.
Oh, that's good.
If you go to urgent care here, she does a good job, but you're gonna get a nurse practitioner, but she's not she can give prescriptions,
Mm-hmm.
but still not seeing a doctor.
There's a doctor at the one here at Plymouth, down past Plymouth Corner you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a doctor, Dr. Connor, because we have the same last name.
I
Yeah.
never see him. I
He's-
end up
he's
seeing a nurse
awesome.
practitioner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's funny because the problems that our residents have in at the society, you don't think about some of those things until you are elderly,
Right.
and then you realize it's a whole different
Yep.
ball game.
Yeah.
There's so many other things to consider, and so Jeannine sees it all from beginning.
Well, when we're young, we don't think about the fact we're abusing our body with stuff we eat.
We were
Right,
just talking
yeah.
about that today, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when you
Yeah.
get older, it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah. We were
It's
just talking
interesting about people, like when you're a child, sometimes I think the parent or the adults in your life expect you to think like they do, but you can't because you've never been that age before. Your brain's not developed like that.
Right.
And then when you get older, your children expect you to know certain things, or there's a gap because the people who aren't there yet can't know what it's like to be where they are. And
Yes.
it's hard to remember that sometimes. I think we're single-minded on what we're doing or how things are for us instead of, you can't think, what is it like for my parent or.
Right. There's so many advantages to living where we live, and that's one of the huge ones. Is that, I'm going to be 74 next week, and you might have something going on with your body. You're feeling this way this week, and if you say that out loud, you get 3 of your neighbors who said, "Oh, I just went through that. I've been through this.
They-
This is
they-
what you do."
Right,
So
Yeah.
it's not just, so you don't think it's just you think it's just something that's going on with you,
right,
but it's very common
Right.
with the elderly at our age to go through some of these things, and now you've got somebody to share that with.
right.
Right, exactly.
And sometimes when something happens, they'll say, "Oh, don't bother, just do this," like an old remedy, and the old remedies work.
They do,
know?
they do.
Yeah.
They sometimes are better than the modern medicine.
Yeah,
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's refreshing to be able to just turn to your neighbor and just say, "Oh, I got this going on," and then just to share those things. We share a lot of things.
yeah.
Yeah,
Help each other through a lot of things.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And now you're surrounded with people that are the same age as you, or similar.
Like you said, it's a
ages.
community.
Yeah,
It is. It's
yeah.
our own little community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's great
it's been an enormous learning.
for sure.
Yeah, there's so
for
much.
sure. That's why we're so looking forward to the Jubilee, and maybe telling people, our guests, about those that aren't familiar with what's going on with the elderly, housing and stuff like that. And let's see what else we can do about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's keep this mission going.
Right.
Now, you have no more room to expand, right?
Well, they are looking into expanding, but it's
Oh.
just something they're looking into at the moment.
Oh,
So-
well, yeah, but they're looking into it, one of these days it can become a reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a thought, just like say, 50 years ago when it
Right.
was just a
Right.
thought. Right
Yep.
now, got some
Well,
new
that's how it
thoughts.
starts. It starts
Yeah.
as a thought.
Yeah, so they are looking into figuring out if they can, if we, need a variance or whatever for that. And then they'll continue on after that if the answer is yes.
Yeah,
So we are looking forward to we're focused on our future.
because there is a big need, especially, the boomer generation is now the elderly generation.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And there is a tremendous, tremendous
I
need.
used to say, one of these days you're gonna go in a nursing home, they're gonna be playing rock and roll.
It's now.
Isn't that
It's
true?
now.
We're at that point
Yeah,
now.
it's
Isn't
now.
that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I keep playing music from like the 40s, and they're like, they want to hear the 50s and the 60s now, right?
Yeah.
I know. Isn't
Yeah.
that?
So-
That's so true.
We're having a
yeah.
sock hop in the dining room instead of.
We
Right.
we talked about that, like having a senior prom
There you
with
go.
real seniors.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Isn't that a good idea?
Yeah, I like that idea, senior
I
prom.
think so too. Everybody gets dressed up,
Yeah.
and we'll have
Yeah.
a senior prom one of these days.
That's right.
Maybe we do that over the summer instead
That'd
of
be fun.
something else.
Yeah,
That would be
I
fun.
like it.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Yeah.
We have kind of a mission statement that we've come up with lately. Not a mission statement, but just I'll let Jeannine tell you what that is. But
Oh, thank
yeah,
you for.
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I remember.
Yeah. Well, right down the street from you, tennis courts.
Yeah.
Back in the '60s, they used to have dances there on Friday night.
oh, no
Oh,
kidding.
nice.
Yeah,
Outside on the
outside
on the
on the
courts?
tennis court.
Oh, we should
Oh.
go back to that.
Oh, no kidding.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we
would-
had,
that would be
I remember
awesome.
going there as a kid.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or even I just saw a sign at the community center where they're still doing roller skating.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I know when my
Yeah.
kids first came to town, that was big.
Yeah.
You went
Oh,
there.
that goes way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for years.
It's one of the things we do with the grandkids too. Because we all love skating, and so my kids went skating. We always had skating parties, and now we've got the grandkids skating, and
Yeah.
that's a lovely thing to do. But yeah.
But yeah, it'd be nice to have a sock hop in the summer.
I think
Yeah,
we should work
I
on
like
this.
that. I think
we
that's a
should work
great
on
idea.
this, yeah.
Just the idea of outside hearing the music playing and the voices and
Yeah.
laughter and
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds fabulous. Yeah.
I do a '60s music show on this channel.
I've
every
seen
day
it.
at,
I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You just-
record it right over in the
You
corner.
just did it earlier. I was just watching it earlier, actually.
How nice.
Yeah.
That cabinet's full of CDs.
Oh, okay.
I got my granddaughter gets them all. I only got one. And he says, you can sell them wherever you want, but when I'm gone, they're yours.
Oh, cool. I see
Nice,
you have a
yeah.
jukebox out there, too.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's another story in itself. When we moved in here, that was, for the American Legion had that in the hall. And we moved in here. I called the owner of the company and I says, we're converting over, can you pick up your jukebox? He says, yeah, I'll get around to it. Never came. About 6 months went by. He calls me up. Oh, you still got that jukebox? I says, yeah. I says, you gonna pick it up? He goes, yeah, I sold the company, so I gotta pick it up. I says, how much you want for it? He says, give me $300. I said, I'll send you a check.
Okay,
Wow.
Nice, that's
I
nice.
said, the CDs in alone were worth $300
That's
bucks.
awesome.
right.
That's
That's
awesome.
neat.
Jukebox. Remember when they used to be in the restaurants, the little ones?
Yes,
And you put a nickel in, and yeah.
I got one out there on the table.
Oh, do
Oh,
you?
nice,
Yeah.
yeah.
We should have
Yes.
those in the dining
That
room.
would be fun.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, that, I mean, the '60s music is big with people that grew up in that generation because it was music we really loved.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I listen to it in my car all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your satellite radio?
Huh? Well, no, just Pandora. But I used to have satellite, but something happened to my radio, so now I just listen to Pandora. But you can choose what you want to listen to.
I was the '60s channel on satellite,
Yeah.
'60s and '50s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's my phone. Don't ignore it.
Oh, okay.
We got an Alexa for the sunroom, and so all
It's
the
so
residents
fun.
have to do is ask Alexa to play a song.
And they love Alexa.
Oh, yeah, I got Alexa.
Yeah, yeah.
Alexa's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pick any artist in the world
Yep.
Yeah.
or any song.
And it tells them when lunchtime is and everything. Yeah, they
Yeah.
love it. I think they were a
Yeah.
little confused at first, but
Yeah,
they love it
They're
now.
getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing, isn't it? How with
Yeah.
that you hook directly. That's AI.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
have you ever said, one of my neighbors talks to it like it's a person? And she says, Alexa, can you please play this? And I said, you don't have to say please and, and thank you. And Alexa heard me say thank you, and she said, oh, you're so welcome. We were in my car recently, and I was talking to Siri, trying to get directions. And I turned to my daughter, and I said, I love Siri. And Siri came back on and said, oh, that's so sweet, thank you. I'm going, wow, that was pretty scary.
It is scary though. I mean, and it recognizes exactly what you say.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, even when you don't know it's listening. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
So my wife Wanda says, that thing's always on. I says, who cares? I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I
It's in my
say,
office.
tell me a joke, and I tell the residents a joke, and Will Banning already knows all the jokes. He
does.
ruins my jokes. I just told him the other night at dinner I was going to tell a joke, and I said, don't you say anything, because he always ruins my jokes.
Yep.
So we have fun there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not, like I said, it's more of a community than anything else.
Right. Yeah. And I'd like to invite anyone who's interested in coming down for a tour to call and make an appointment. I'd love to show you around and show anybody what we're all about and the beautiful place that it is. Yeah.
But right now, you still have waiting lists.
We do. We do.
To live there, but come and see it. That way you won't walk in and...
Right, but the idea, get on the list.
Yes,
That's right, because
get on the
it's
list.
nothing to get on the list, but you'll never get a call if you're not on the list.
Right.
So, and you can always say no. If I call and say there's a unit available, you can always say, you know what, I'm not ready yet, but keep me on the list.
Right.
So, yeah.
The thing is, you got to get on the list.
You
And
do.
that way, and then people get on and drop off, so you could
Yep.
move up. You never know.
And
That's
that's what
right.
happens. It was a
That's right.
3-year waiting list when I signed up, and it was 18 months before I got in.
So half the time.
Yeah, half
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
Because it happens. I'll start calling people and they're like, I found a place, or I'm not ready to move yet, or I haven't sold my house yet. So keep me on the list, but I'm not ready. And then I can go down a little bit further and, some people just take me off the list. I found a place.
Right.
So you never know. You never
Right.
know.
But you gotta get on there first. So
That's
get up
right.
and take a tour.
Yeah, come take a tour and check
Okay,
it out.
Where people don't know what we're talking about. It's Linden Street, right?
Chestnut Street.
Chestnut Street.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Chestnut
10
Street.
Chestnut Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Linden's right after that.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. It's
yeah.
right off those streets.
Yep.
Yeah, Linden,
Okay.
Maple.
So
Yeah.
it's behind. You can come in from Hill Street.
You can,
Or you
onto
come
High
up
Street.
High
Maple,
Street.
Linden, High Street. You can come up
Yeah.
all those streets.
And you're gonna see that beautiful mansion.
Yep.
Just walk in the front door and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Get-
I'd like it if you made an appointment.
yeah, make an
I-
appointment first.
If you
because-
do come in, I'll still accommodate you, but it's better if you make an
Yeah, but
appointment.
I'm sure you got a busy day. So
It is busy,
It's nice to
yeah.
have an appointment so you
It
can
is.
work it into your schedule.
Yes.
Right, and
yeah,
that way you're not surprising the residents either when they see somebody they don't know in there.
Right.
Because it's important
it
for
is
us to
their
make
home.
them feel safe.
Yeah, it is their
Right.
home. So, yeah.
Right. And celebrate our 50th Jubilee with us.
That's right,
Yes.
we're honoring our past and celebrating our present and focusing on the future. So,
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
And like I say, you did a great thing because you've saved one of the beautiful
Yeah,
Whiten mansions.
they did, yeah. They did a great thing.
Greek revival.
Yep,
It is a Greek revival, yeah,
yep. And I hope it continues on for years and years and years.
forever,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's such a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. Yep.
Yeah.
So
and-
thank you for having us.
Oh, no, thank you for coming in. It was great.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
this has
You're
been-
welcome.
this has been
Have to have you back sometime.
Yeah.
We'd love to.
If you ever on the road, do you ever go on the road? Come to a live.
Yeah, come and
Well,
visit
yeah,
us.
I'd like to stop up and, probably come up and do a little taping.
Yeah. Yep.
And we'll have you back on, we can show,
Yeah, we
do
can.
a tour.
That would be great.
We
That
brought
would
you
be
an
great.
invitation to the gala, so that we'll give it to you when we're leaving, and you could, we did some BBTs doing some videos with us, some clips from some of our residents, you'll see some interesting stuff there.
Oh, okay.
And we talk about the journal, the documents and everything, and
Yep,
Yeah.
the seven first members of the original society. One of them still living, Al Faber.
do you know Al Faber?
I know the name,
Yeah.
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 And BBT took some drone footage, so
Oh.
it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a beautiful evening
It
of
is,
just
yeah.
celebrating
Yeah.
and
This is in February.
yeah.
This is in February, but we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for sponsorships.
if
We've
you
got
want.
people that are donating. Little Man, the store in town, just donated today
Yeah.
so that we could have a silent auction.
The flower
Oh.
shop.
The flower shop
Yep.
has donated.
Oh,
Harborough has
okay.
donated. The Whitensville Community Center.
Yep.
Yeah, Crothers. Yeah.
So we have a lot of nice items for our silent auction, and a lot of good people are sponsoring residents or, you know,
What we
Add-
do is have you on, when in February is it?
the 21st.
Can we have you on the beginning of February,
Oh,
and we can talk about it again, try and
Yes.
Yeah.
get people to buy some tickets.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
nice.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
How about the second Thursday in February?
I'll have to look at our calendars.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds good, whatever that is, whatever date that is.
I don't
yeah.
know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
but
Right.
I know it's the third, I've heard the first Thursday I do the senior info,
Okay.
so that's why I'm picking the second.
Okay, we could probably pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like we did right now.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Maybe even some other people on the
You
board.
can bring some
might
others
wanna
in, you
come.
bring
Yeah.
some of your residents in.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
fun.
and we have a board.
Yeah, our volunteer board, it's a purely volunteer board because we're,
Yeah, you can bring some of your board members and whatever as many as you want. We actually had, Senior Center has the ukulele band.
Mhm.
oh, yeah.
We had them in here, we taped them
Oh,
in
how
here,
fun.
right in
Oh,
the
that's
studio.
right.
I had
I didn't
residents who
see,
used
I
to
didn't
love
see
to
that
watch
one.
that.
I didn't see that
We
one.
played that a number of times.
Yep.
In fact, Aaron can tell you when it's on, he does all the programming.
Yep. I had a resident who loved that. She watched it every time it
Oh,
was on.
really?
Oh, yeah.
They do a super job.
Yeah.
They're playing all Beatle music
Oh, how
too.
fun. That's great.
So Eric doesn't have to stay in here for the taping, he just sets it all up?
Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
oh yeah. Well, thank you very much, we're gonna be,
You're welcome, thank you
Yeah,
for
thank you
having
for
us.
having us.
Yeah, thanks for
and we're
giving
gonna
us
have
the
you back,
opportunity.
we'll have you back in February.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Harry.
I'll see you next week on About the Valley. Our guest is gonna be Rodney Lee, and we're gonna talk about his latest book.